The Denver Broncos make a couple very interesting roster moves before a must-win game with playoff implications at home against the Los Angeles Chargers. The final two games of the season, we are on the home stretch, and we are on the part of the season where we're going to see what we have in quarterback Jarrett Stidham. Broke him down and his upside, his super high potential in my last video, so feel free to go check that out. But we're going to look at the talent that the Denver Broncos promoted. Sean Payton alluded to this move earlier in the week, but let's dive into it. So the bad news of the day is that we are banged up. We remember the first game of that, or the first play of that Patriots game. Courtland Sutton, long, deep ball on the sideline, came down on the back of his head and had a concussion. Well, he is officially out for Sunday. And so you throw in this new quarterback who all of our hopes are kind of riding on him now. The hope of, could he be our next Brock Purdy? Could he run the Payton offense? Well, you're going to be without our number one wideout, our number one target, Courtland Sutton. Well, I think we're in okay shape because of these two huge roster moves that we just did today. So the two big moves are that in place of Courtland Sutton, we put up two guys who had been on our practice squad, one of whom is a Super Bowl winning former first-round draft pick who has insane speed. So we're going to dive into both of these moves. So we got Philip Dorsett, who is an NFL vet, and Michael Bandy, who is a wideout out of San Diego, like San Diego State, the college, I believe, and then most recently out of Los Angeles. So looking here first at Philip Dorsett, this is the dude I'm super pumped about. He was a first-round draft pick. He was drafted at number 29 overall by the Indianapolis Colts. He kind of had some bad injury luck. He got bounced around about. He was thrown in trades for quarterbacks. Like he was part of the Jacoby Brissett trade to the Patriots. But the big thing with him that makes me really excited is just the speed. The speed in the hands, truly. Like he has insane flatline speed. His 40 time was a 4.33, so you're talking a 4.3 40 dude. Basically, his 40 time is 0.05 off of what a guy like Tyreek Hill's is. And so what does that do is that takes the top off of a defense. That makes your safeties always be playing back, which what I hope is what happens is this opens the field wide open for Jerry Jeudy, wide open for Lucas Krull in the middle of the field. And I think all of that is very possible. The big thing that I think Jarrett Stidham gives us is we aren't just throwing to the sidelines. We really have a quarterback who can put the ball anywhere, who can see the entire field. He doesn't have Russell Wilson's ability to do backyard ball and spin out and create something when nothing's there. But what we're going to rely on is Sean Payton drawing up a play that uses the entire field. And now we have a person in Philip Dorsett who can take the top off, and we have Jerry Jeudy. We saw that first play of the Detroit game, like him on that amazing play right through the middle, and there's a lot of times you have Jerry Jeudy streaking wide open in the middle of the field. One of the things about Jerry Jeudy is he's not a great deep ball catcher, but he has some of the best feet in the league, and I think that's why we didn't trade him at the deadline, because he runs routes and puts dudes on ice skates. We haven't been able to take advantage of it because that isn't in Russell's skill set. I think it is in Jarrett Stidham's skill set. So here he is, Philip Dorsett to the active roster. Expect some playing time from him. Now, the other thing that's really interesting is that we also promoted another small dude, a 5'10 dude, Michael Bandy. Now, he is a very different type player. He is not a take the top off like we have with Philip Dorsett. He is a much more like your prototypical slot player. He's played meaningful snaps for the Los Angeles Chargers, had some really nice catches for Herbert, and very cool testament to how good he must be, because our offensive coordinator, Joe Lombardi, who was with the Los Angeles Chargers when he was playing and when they got him as a free agent, they made him come here with us, or come here with him. And so I think that speaks really highly that you want to bring an undrafted kid, you want to bring him and have him on this team. And then once you get a chance to call the kind of offense you want, that you put him up on the active roster. So look for him as like a Wes Welker type in the middle, undrafted dude. But if you go and watch, I did a deep dive of him, and Saw his highlights at San Diego, and like the dude is an absolute route running stud. Not a ton of yards after the catch, but he gets open. He is a Wes Welker type in that way. So I think with both of these people, you just see this complement of receivers that we haven't had. We now have someone who can take the top off and Philip Dorsett. You get Bandy in the slot. You have Lucas Kroll as a tight end, and you get Jerry Jeudy. We just haven't used receivers in that way. Basically, we have used a home run ball and Russell Wilson buying time with his legs. And I think that certainly works at times. It also hasn't worked at times. I think we saw the ceiling of how that backyard ball can play with how this roster is designed and the type of offense Sean Payton wants to play. So very excited about both of these moves. The other downside is that we will be without the services of Browning on Barrett Browning on Sunday as well. He has been great. So we are without Sutton and Browning, but good news is that we have these two new receivers coming, and Benito should be back and playing, which he was putting amazing pressure on the quarterback. Other great news is that the Chargers will be without Justin Herbert. They will be without their Keenan Allen, who has almost half of the targets from Herbert this year to him, and he's out. Josh Palmer, their receiver, is out. They'll also be without the services of Joey Bosa. So just like before, Stidham really needs to keep his eye out wherever Khalil Mack is. Let's get two guys on him at all times, and I think we'll see that top-ranked, the 7th-ranked offensive line. Give him time. He'll be able to move the ball like I predicted in the last video. I truly think that over the next 2 games, you will see this offense put up numbers that we haven't. And if that's not the case, I'll be shocked, and we'll have to do tons of introspection at that. But it's like, truly, I know Sean Payton and Russell Wilson butted heads, but the only reason to make this move right now is truly Sean Payton thinking that this opens his offense up more. So just a few weeks ago, we had a chance to play this exact Chargers team. We saw how Russell moved the ball. We saw that it was the defense putting us in position to score. It'll be very interesting to see if Stidham can put up at least the kind of numbers that Russell Wilson did. And if not, I think that warrants a much larger discussion. But definitely got a lot to look forward to. Sunday, we will be here immediately after the game for a post-game reaction to kind of look at what was Stidham like. Are we excited to have him as the quarterback of the future, or are we hoping to go to the draft? Are we hoping that Russell Wilson has a change of heart and decides to renegotiate his deal so that we can put some pieces around him to help him out so that he can be our long-term future? But regardless, we got a ton to look forward to. Broncos, Chargers tomorrow. The playoffs are not out of the question. If we win out, we have a 1 in 5 chance of making the playoffs, like 20% chance. And by tomorrow, when I make my post-game video, we'll have a much clearer view. It could be a much more wide open path to the playoffs this time tomorrow, or the wrong teams could lose and the door could all be shut and it could be for naught. But either way, I will be here for it, and I hope you will be as well. Thanks for watching Broncos Country. Let's ride.